Hey guys, welcome to the Shack. This is episode 41. Glad to be here. I'm LT.
Scooter, man on the inside.
Brian from Woods Monkey.
Mikey. I was looking at stuff. I'm sorry.
It's too late.
The pretty colors were talking to me.
And I'm Sam.
All right, so we're all here. Hey, today we wanted on episode 40 we did a kitchen knife talk, and we passed around the kitchen knives. I really, really like that episode. If you guys have not listened to that episode, back up and listen to 40 before you hit this one. No, not really. You can listen to this one first. It doesn't really matter. Mikey, where can they find the podcast if they're not listening?
Pick me.
You there in the front. Go ahead.
I think it's like anywhere that you can listen to podcasts.
That's right. So where are we number one right now?
In our hearts.
In our hearts.
Same place.
Those 12 people at the gas station that are listening.
There was a time where we had a number one spot in some foreign countries. So we'd like to have that spot back. So if you are not from America, please make us number one in your country.
If you live in Portugal or Belgium, be sure to tune in.
Yes. And if you are in America, please pass this on to your friends and make us number one in America because we like doing the Shack.
Especially if your friends are in a foreign country.
Yeah, all of the above.
What is the lingua franca of Belgium? Is it French?
The what?
The primary language in Belgium.
In Belgium?
Is it Danish?
Are you making that up?
No, I believe it's Danish.
I'm not.
Someone
sure.
Google check him.
Brian, you
They
got
don't-
two
they don't
devices out.
Speak that in the Netherlands?
They do, but they also speak it in
do.
Belgium.
All right, while Mike's doing that.
Sure.
So today we wanted to talk to you guys about the Woods Monkey offerings that we make, and they're very cool little knives and simplistic knives. That was the main thing, wasn't it, Brian? When we kind of started putting things together, it was like, hey, we need simple using tools. Is
Three
basically
official
what it
languages: Dutch, French, and German.
So Dutch was on the list.
So
Nice.
three
Dutch.
official languages.
Stuck on
They're kind of surrounded by
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I could see that.
Today's geography lesson is brought to you by
Woods
Also
Monkey, apparently.
Flemish
Google.
Dutch.
Flemish.
Ah.
Interesting.
And now back to the reason we're all here.
So Brian
Yeah,
wasn't listening. Ask your
I know.
question again.
Yes, they were originally designed to be simple knives. We started. This was what, summer of 21. I think we first started looking at-
Post-pandemic, yeah,
As things got back to quote unquote normal.
trying to come up with some certain things.
Sort of, maybe.
I can remember when we started working out, hey, what can we offer that's really cool, that's different from LTWK stuff, and what's going to kind of go with the brand where we started. And one night after we were done working, for some reason, you and Sammy stayed here. I don't remember what we were doing. We're just chatting, actually sitting around this table, and we started throwing ideas back and forth. And finally we go, you know what? We got to have a friction folder that folds up. I know there was a
As
different
opposed to a
concept.
friction folder that
Oh,
doesn't.
I'm sorry. You're
Careful.
correct. Thank you,
Oh.
Mr. Pointing things
Oh.
out over there.
Oh, jump
I
on that.
know. I heard it after I said it, but I couldn't stop.
Okay.
Mike is correct. A friction folder must fold. Otherwise, it would be.
A friction fix.
Hey, knife.
I get it.
We already make
So-
those.
No, but we had the idea, the concept and idea was different than what the banana peel ended up. However, I'm not disappointed in the final iteration of this knife. When we started drawing it together, the concept of the scales and everything that goes into it, it's simple.
Yeah.
You can take. Well, let's just talk about the banana peel first. Why did we go with a friction folder as opposed to a liner lock, a lock back, or anything else?
Well, I mean, so originally we were thinking about another product, and it kind of evolved into a friction folder knife. I mean, the other product would have had a knife blade on there.
Mhm.
And I think we looked back at one of the old, there were two blind horse knives, friction folders, and you had one in your desk, and we kind of cannibalized that to
Oh, yeah.
see how the blade would look on there. And then all of a sudden, light bulb went off. Hey, maybe we should think about making a knife and a friction folder. Again, simple, it's straightforward. There's no lock to fail, which is a nice touch.
Right.
And these are a little different than what you might have seen, kind of what I would call the old timey friction folders that you can't really open. These are set up to be able to be open one hand. I close mine one hand.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Open and close one hand all day long. It has a shorter tail than most friction folders.
right.
Now, there are some other short-tailed friction folders. I've
Mhm.
seen them, but this one definitely is shorter than your average friction folder, we'll say.
Yeah, and I would say that was kind of a happy accident with the let's make it look like a banana because
Right.
we didn't start out making it look like a banana.
No.
It was it's a fairly common friction folder shape back to the Vikings when they were making them out of horns and whatnot.
Yeah, well, the curved handle in itself really does give a good hiding place for the sharp edge,
Mhm.
per se, when it's closed. It also, when the knife is fully open, this shape tends to feel very, very comfortable in the hand as a cutting tool. Mine happens to be in a Warncliffe design, which, man, for just messing around and general use, to me, this is the win. This is my favorite blade, and we're going to go around and talk about the different what we like about it. Mine, we have a prototype pocket clip that hangs off of the tail end of the knife. Sammy has one that has a prototype pocket clip that is off the stem side of the knife, I guess. And Brian, does.
Brian has
I've got both.
And some I was carrying this in a slip for a bit, one of the P&W slips that we have, and we can talk about those too.
carried it in
But-
Kydex too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes,
As
as
a
a
neck
neck knife. And I still have that Kydex rig, which this will immediately, I could go home and pop that in there right now too. But I'm just trying out the clip right now. And I do like this. I do like this clip. It sets down in. There is no way that's a knife when it's down because of the way the clip is. The whole knife is in the pocket.
Yeah, you wouldn't know
No.
what that is. And it's too flat to print.
One
your
of the
pocket.
things that Brian and I have just recently talked about is friction folders, because they don't lock, are accepted in more places, especially in foreign countries. We just discussed this 3 or 4 days ago.
Oh,
Getting sales overseas. What's that?
Right.
Germany and the United Kingdom both ban locking blades.
And we're getting sales across the pond
oh, I
in
didn't know
those
that.
places,
Oh,
and
yeah.
due to specifically that fact.
A lot.
Now, the upsides to having a friction folder, the way we designed this knife, and the tail goes into the palm of the hand, it does not hurt you. It's not painful. It's just comfortable. It goes in there. There's not much of it out. But the one thing it does, in my opinion, gives you positive knowing that is in place. That blade is in place. It's not going to close on my hands. So I really like this banana peel, the aspect of the knife, the thought of the knife. I'm comfortable carrying it. This is by no means tactical. It's not going to open on the way out like some of yours do, or Nick's one finger flippy knives and all that stuff.
Stupid flipper knives.
Stupid dumb flipper knife. But
Some
Or you mean
folding
something
knife
with a
paper
wave
right there.
feature?
yeah, I guess.
You can wave it.
called?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can wave it open
But
on your
the- but
pocket. Yeah, this is
utility.
safe.
And again, I'm going back to the tool idea. Simple using folding tool. The banana peel is an absolute, it's a sweet spot to me. It is the friction folder. It's the just right friction folder kind of thing.
the Goldilocks.
The Goldilocks friction folder. There you go. This works very, very well. Now there's a lot that goes along with this because of the way this is set up modular.
Right. So when we first started making them, and you'll notice we have a lot of options for handles. The first ones we started doing were in Kydex, just because the shop has Kydex around. You guys
Yep.
do Kydex sheets, and it's an easy way to prototype. So we were, playing around with the blades and whatnot, using Kydex just because it's here and it's inexpensive. It's easy to cut and shape and whatnot. And again, we thought, we kind of like this in Kydex.
Which I still carry
Right,
mine
mine
in
too.
Kydex.
For-
Mine has green olive drab Kydex.
For the scales,
Right.
be
Yeah,
clear,
for the scales, correct.
Kydex.
Um,
Yep.
Now, what we were thinking, though, I think was the weight of this is, that is minimal.
Right. It's about 2 ounces out the door with the blade, the scales and the hardware, which is about, my keys and some other things. I did a video
Right.
a while back on that. But yeah, it's not a lot of weight. It's very flat because the Kydex is very flat.
Mhm.
Blades 1/8 of an inch. So the whole package is very flat, sits in your pocket, very flat around your neck. You don't really notice it.
For those light,
Kydex is a little bit bendy, which is
yes,
nice.
it's flexible too. And I like the fact that it has a little flex to it as opposed to the rigidity. I again, it just a little bit of bend makes it more comfortable in the pocket. I think it's for the size, it doesn't feel the size in your pocket. It's really working. And for those guys, and I remember if you used to go on the hammock forums or backpacking forums, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, guys were cutting their toothbrushes in half to
Yeah.
save weight. They were taking half
Right.
sleeping bags and all kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
weren't they?
Sleeping pad,
Sleeping
3/4
well,
pad or
half a-
something.
half a sleeping bag too. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the quilt thing and
The just
No.
how the quilt
Avoid-
evolution
Oh,
sort of stuff.
never heard of half sleep.
immediately when we put this together, I said, Brian, backpackers are going to eat this up because
Perfect.
it
No
weighs,
weight.
2 ounces. Why is this not in the bottom of everybody's pack? You got to cut something sometime on the trail. This is the one.
Correct.
And then Nick, on your side, the legalities of a friction folder.
Yeah. Other companies, Spyderco, I know, has some products in that line. They partnered with a French designer one time to do a very limited run of friction folders, but they also have the UKPK and the Rhodey. And both of those knives are, again, sort of designed to tailor to that foreign market. And it's really nice to be able to offer a folder that goes through all of our normal processes here. So we finish everything by hand. Everything is, we have different machines that do help us with some of the mass removal on some things, but ultimately the finished product is entirely done by hand. So,
Well, I mean, the two things that we do is we have the blanks water jet,
yep.
and that is to make them all the same,
A
basically.
uniform base cutout. And
And
then,
then you do the shop bought
right.
handle just to get the shape
Yep.
the same.
Same thing. And then that's also for the folders like this, our hardware holes need to make, we need to make sure that those are in the proper spot. So those tools help with that. But as far as the finish work, the grinding, all that, it's done by hand. So, all of our hands touch them. And I think there's an artistry to that and really a positive feature of them. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting tradition too. Like, and again, going back to my, a little bit of my background, and the history of tools a little bit, uh, just tools that people use in general. These friction folders are an interesting piece of history that I feel like still has a place and is still usable for sure.
Mhm. Well, the Mountain Man antler friction folder, I
Yeah.
think it was a very popular make. I was very interested in them early on in my knife making because it was just neat, have an antler crown
Yep.
and a folding, uh, what they call them, the blacksmith knives,
Oh
with the
yeah.
rat tail
Yep.
turns,
Twisted.
twisted rat tails. Those
Yep.
were very, very popular to do those with, and it's cool. It's a
Yeah.
cool thing.
In fact, last summer I got to meet a blacksmith friend of mine. Well, he's a friend now, that does do that. But yeah, when we do our stock removal stuff, though, it's a nice balance between machine finished and human touch, if that makes sense. Because while we don't have blacksmith scaling or some of that stuff, everything is a lot more uniform. And one of my favorite features about this knife in particular is the fact that the scales are totally modular. So
Yes.
if you start with, the Kydex one is sort of an entry, let's see if you like it, see if you enjoy the feel of it. That's pretty awesome because then down the road you could always contact Brian or get on the website and get, you could reach out and get G10 scales or micarta scales or whatever. Tarot Tough is one of my favorite materials lately,
Yeah.
and that's available for this knife. All those things, you can just swap out the hardware and you're ready to go again. It's not, some knives I know today are what's called hot swappable, where you don't have to disassemble, but this knife has 3 screws holding it together. It is very simple. Anybody with a penny can take it apart, put it back together, and
Yeah.
be ready to rock and roll.
And that was another thing in the design was exactly what he said. What do you need to take this knife apart?
Right.
Right. A dime and you're good. Penny, you're good.
I like the fact that you can interchange the blades more than the handle.
Yeah, even right. You
Because-
got a favorite set of handles and you want a different blade shape or steel, right,
Right.
Brian? I mean, that's
Yeah, I mean, we've done so right now. I think we've got ABL A2 and Magna Cut as kind of the basic steels that we do for this, but we've also done some in S35 VN and we had, or I mean S35, and we had some 3V along the way. So yeah, it to me there's nothing you couldn't do with it. It's kind of like the Spyderco mules. If somebody came to us and said, hey, what about this steel? What about that steel? It's a good test bed for that. You could try out just the blade and throw that in a pair of handles and see what it's like.
Yeah, or have kind of like the Thompson Center Contender. You could buy just about any barrel, stainless, blued, any caliber, rim fire, center fire. There's Packmeyer makes grit. I'm saying this because I love that particular setup. So to have a knife that we can do similar to on the simplistic line, if you were to take this knife apart, 3 screws, 5 washers. We have 2 washers on each side of the blade itself and 1 rubber washer in the tail, basically to hold the handle apart so the blade will go slip down in, right? I mean, that's it.
Yep.
And you could, as Nick said, take a penny or a dime and take this knife completely apart, disassemble it, clean it, put it back together. You fall in a creek. You want to just make sure you get all the crud out of your pot, everything. Whatever. You're field dressing a deer. You get home. It's all bloodied up, got hair everywhere. Take the knife apart, clean it. Very few knives will come apart that far quickly.
I like it for a couple different reasons. One, because like if you're elk hunting or other big game hunting, you just take a couple of blades with you and you don't have to resharpen the knife. You just pop a blade in and out. And then the other thing is that if you are doing a longer project, you can tighten the screw up enough that it's not going to fold on you.
Yes, you could actually make it tighter as it's opened. You are correct. And leave it in a fixed blades kind of idea. Now, this does not lock, but the way it's designed, you'd be hard, unless you're trying to stick something straight forward, you'd be hard pressed to have it fold on your fingers. And
Correct.
because of the way the tail is, you'd still be hard pressed for that thing to shut on your fingers. It'd have to pop past the web of your which would be, I think you'd be in rough shape by then.
You're probably worrying about other stuff if that happens.
So
well, I tend to grip that knife in a pinch over the screws
like that.
Yeah. And when you're doing that, it will fold on you.
You're absolutely correct. Again, it is a folding knife.
Yes.
But most of the cutting tasks are in and pull to you for the most part. Just in general, opening things. You're not going to stick and push with a blade most of the time. So this is a good position for this. I mean, there's a lot of pluses to this all the way around.
Correct.
And the minuses I wouldn't really consider any of the minuses to be minuses either. They're just, hey, you should be aware of this if you're going to utilize it in that configuration.
One other nice thing, and I was having a conversation with a YouTuber the other day, and he had built, he's an EDC guy, and he had built an ultralight setup for summer carry, and he wanted to replace his multi-tool and a couple other things, and one of his issues was he wanted to try the Benchmade bug out, but he didn't want to pay the bug out price for it, which I can understand. They're quite expensive, and if you're not sure you're going to like a knife, that's a heck of an investment. So unfortunately, this is where I disagreed with him. Is he went on to eBay, and if you're not familiar, there's a ton of clones on eBay of a lot of popular knives, and the bug out's one of them.
And I am not familiar with that.
Yeah,
really?
tons and tons. That's a huge. That's a huge thing in the folder world, especially for people like Benchmade, Spyderco, things like that. So he bought one of those, and he loved the knife, and he's like, "Yeah, for $30, this is great." Well, my point where I got on there and talked with him a little bit was, you can't ever trust a knife like that. Folding knives that's a small machine. Now, I've built a few liner lock knives. I built a few of these friction folder knives, not just the banana peeler either, but other ones. And that is not a tool that you want to treat riskily, I guess is the only way I know to say it. Things like the Benchmade bug out have an axis lock, and if that fails on you, there's a real good chance you're going to mess up your fingers pretty badly. So there was a back and forth with that. But my point is, again, like how you can try this knife in so many different configurations, whether you're talking about different blade steels, different handle materials, a little bit heavier, a little bit lighter. You can even make your own scales for this knife, which a few of people that we know have done out of titanium or brass or aluminum or whatever, and get a whole different experience, a completely custom experience. So for a folding knife, that's pretty spectacular. I mean, there's whole companies devoted to just scales, just washers, just clips out there, and a lot of them are super cool. This one you can almost do in your garage and kind of make your own scales. You don't need real fancy tools to make this work.
Or just wait till Blade Show comes around, and then be a huge variety of them in Georgia.
There will be quite a few.
'Cause I just sharpened a bunch of them.
Now at this
I love
recording,
seeing all the different varieties come through myself.
we're about a week away from leaving for Blade Show, so
There has been some really trick looking handles on these, and blades and steels.
But the thicknesses there, man, it's again.
How many?
That puts you in that
3/8?
Goldilocks.
3/8
Quarter.
and 8.
The big liners, eighth, and then
And
this
Kydex.
Kydex
Yes.
is
You-
what, 60 or 90 with the 9?
80.
Oh, wait.
60 thou? Okay. So there's 4 different thicknesses. You could have 4 different knives, sort of.
I mean, you can
Sort of.
find that one that really fits for you. That's what I'm saying. For pocket carry, I am right there. That is.
I like the 1/8
width.
inch liner. It's a
Yes,
little sturdier,
it is.
but not as bulky. I like that one.
Yeah, there was a few in snakeskin not that long ago that I was like, wow, that's good.
Earlier today.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Or the
like
red
it.
ones, the big liners,
red
was that
linen.
1/4
The
inch?
red linen.
Or the red linen ones,
Yeah,
are
the red
sharp looking.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's something about that red linen when it's polished and you see all the fibers in there.
it's
speaking
super
as the
classy.
guy that polishes them, it's not super fun. So I'm glad everyone else enjoys them.
Yeah, we all like them.
That's good.
None of them can top. Let's see. You did there was some scale material, 3 color, and Nick dug into it on the Dremel, and it looked like
Was it
flames on a hot rod.
white?
We used to call that Tiger Stripe G10.
That was so awesome.
That was cool. We didn't make
pretty
too
fun.
many of those, huh?
No, so that was
Couple-
you guys are
couple,
talking
3.
back. That was 2 years ago when we introduced them at
Really?
Blade,
Yeah.
and we had
All back.
I think we had 100 and some knives, and not 2 of them were the same
Yeah.
because we went a little crazy, and we
You mean
kinda-
custom?
You
Yeah.
went a lot crazy.
it was kind of like see what we could do, and I mean everything from Nick does all the funky handle finishes, so twist and hand jigged and hitting it with the Dremel.
Well,
This
And-
knife and twist is a super
Yeah.
win. What, in the 1/4 inch or 1/8?
I like it.
all
I
three.
just did the
Yeah.
quarter in Python.
The
Man.
quarter Python turned out
Yeah.
fantastic.
The twist is an awesome pattern on it.
You like that?
I do. I like it
Good.
a lot. Just the grip, just from a grip.
the
Yeah.
next cool look is going to be, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about this, but Sammy's prototype.
What are you
can-
talking about?
I don't know.
What?
Who's
What?
Sam?
What? The what?
Sam's not here.
Yeah, Sammy just had one.
I have the first and only Cerakoted banana peel blade.
Yeah.
And I had my good friend Nick make me a set of blue G10 scales to match my blue Cerakoted blade.
It
It's
is.
like all this.
It is very blue, which is my favorite
Not
color.
just this episode.
Yeah, too
That
bad we
knife-
have the cameras on.
Mike,
Looks the bomb.
It is very blue. Let's
It's blue.
it's very blue. It's awesome. I love it.
We might have to polish twist.
This is, I've officially done all 4 thicknesses of scales now.
Really?
Yeah, I was really liking the Kydex. Now I'm going to give the 1/8 inch a run and
They
see
make
how
blue
that goes.
Kydex, just saying.
Yeah, but I had this already mostly shaped.
I do kind of like the 125 myself.
Yeah, it's a nice size. It
Yeah.
is. It's very,
It
very.
gives you
And
a
it
little
fits up
more
the hands of these
rigidity.
Clips really nicely.
So, for those of you that don't know
Yes.
what they're
Yeah.
talking about there, PNW is Pacific Northwest Bushcraft. Shout out to Heather and Todd. They are awesome, awesome people. Our favoriteest people.
Go
but
buy all of their stuff.
yeah, if you like being in the woods, basically, go buy something from them because you won't regret it. I buy things from them. They don't just send me free stuff, and I never regret it. So yeah,
This is or is not the slip we have.
So that's a little different. Is that Shane?
that's the pen.
Yes.
So that's a little different. That's one they did for Shane Adams.
Okay.
That's got a divider through it. Ours is more of just a straight slip. The ones we have now are in slate canvas with a blue flannel on the other side.
blue.
It's blue.
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 It would match your.
light on you.
I have my bigger one. Oh no, I don't have that little.
Does that
I
fit
used to have one in here.
A
Little
pen
light.
light will fit in there. Yes.
Oh, you know what? I have it in my tool bag in the car.
I just wondered. Wait.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh,
Put the little lanyard on there. That'd be good.
Nope.
Won't go.
That's
Well,
Negatory.
oh darn.
A AAA.
If only we knew Heather and Todd and could call them and
Yeah.
be like, hey guys, we want
My nice
this.
big pen fits, so I like.
I'm sure that would hold the O light pen
yeah.
if you want a light.
Oh, the O pen, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. That would be
Excuse me. Yeah, the O
I like
pen.
the setup
Yeah.
having the pen, but I was like, boy, if I had a flashlight right there, so it would definitely do a fire steal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's no doubt it would do a fire steal.
Mm-hmm.
So carry options, Brian. I mean, you got without anything, just drop it in like a slip joint, old school granddad
Sure.
style.
Now that way.
I carried a slip joint for a long time.
Yeah, the slip joint I'm fine with, but this one I'm a little hesitant to carry that way because if you've listened to the EDC episode of the podcast here, I have tons of crap in my pocket. And those things bumping together make it real possible for that blade to open up in my pocket. So yeah, I gotta have
carry
some kind of
too much
cover.
stuff in your pocket.
There is
Yeah.
no such thing.
You know what? I've been getting by this long. I'm just gonna keep on trucking.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No. So
If
so
it ain't broke, Nick can fix it.
That's true.
so listen, you could carry it without anything,
Sure.
which I do and have before the clip. Then you have the pocket slips from P&W,
Right.
which are awesome.
Or any of the other pockets.
Then we have the prototype clips that we're working out that are actually on the stem side, like the one I'm holding that I know you
The
can't.
blue one. It's the
Mhm.
blue
Then we
one.
have
the
the clip that is coming off the tail that we're seeing if we love,
It's
Right.
also a prototype.
which is also a prototype. Then you have the neck carry Kydex, or Sammy could probably put you a horizontal on your belt. You could actually carry this horizontally open if you wanted in a Kydex rig. I mean, there's a lot of things that you could do.
Or leather.
You could do a
Yeah.
Kydex rig that has probably the ability to be closed and or open if Sam had enough time, right?
I think we had started heading that direction with some prototyping and
Yeah.
And
I didn't
then-
mean to
switched
fall off
over to
the
just
balloon,
the necker.
and
But we
depending,
I did like carrying it as a neck knife quite a bit.
yeah, especially again in the Kydex.
Yeah.
Kydex on Kydex is a little squirrely when you're making it, but
Eh.
the Kydex or the 1/8 inch is really nice.
See, I carried the quarter as a necker,
Mm.
Yeah.
and with
Yes,
my
as a necker
with
was
my second
fantastic.
razor, the cheesecake knife.
Oh,
That knife is somewhere in the woods, isn't it?
Um,
It is somewhere in that's why we had to come up with a pocket clip because my first knife came out of my pocket somewhere in the woods at the farm.
Mm-mm. You haven't found it with the mower yet?
No, it's in the woods. We were
posting.
Oh, woods.
we were running the
Okay.
property
We were
line
running the
up
property
signs.
lines that time, and he's like, "I lost that knife." Like, do you have any idea where we just walked 5 miles?
it's somewhere here.
It's still there.
I always lose mine to people going, "That's a really cool knife. What's it do?" And you show them, they're like, "Thanks," and then they leave with it. They're like, "That was mine."
Gotcha.
So really, we need to go have a metal detector party down at the farm, and we can find his old coin purse. and
You'll find some good
knife.
stuff, I'm sure.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about losing that.
Thanks, Nick.
You hated
Wow.
change
Thanks
anyway.
for bringing that up. Now I'm going to be thinking about it all weekend.
I hate change.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Uh,
lost that one down there.
Yeah.
Stuff
I
we
can-
don't even know that's there.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But I like the Cerakote idea. Very nice.
It's awesome.
Shout out
definitely
to Matt
gives, like,
Smith at Smith Outfitters.
Cerakote is
Yeah,
No.
explain it. Yeah, this is two colors, really. It's white,
Two
then,
coat,
then blue.
Cerakote, white
right?
underneath, blue on top, and he lasered the logo through the blue, but didn't cut the white, so the logo comes through white.
Pure magic. Don't know how that.
I don't know.
Witchcraft.
Modern sorcery.
Mike,
Yeah.
I bumped your wire here, buddy.
Feeds and speeds and stuff on the laser. He nailed it.
It even shows it a wee little bit on the sharpened
I
edge
saw that
because it
yeah,
tapers.
because
you
it
know.
tapers. You got just
Kinda
a
cool.
little bit of like a secondary.
Yep.
That is very cool. So there's a lot that can be done with this simplistic knife. Is basically where we're at. And blade shapes, Brian. What are we?
All of them.
Pretty
So
much.
we
Yeah.
again we started out with I think 12 shapes
a
with
lot.
There
with
was a lot of
binding Scandi and flat. So drop points, spear points. That we've got
Straight
a
razor.
straight razor. We had a false clip.
Straight
we had
razor,
a
very interesting cutter.
Make
Yeah.
a great
Yeah.
cheesecake knife.
Makes a great box
That
and
was
opener.
cheesecake, man. Come on.
I can't help it. It's true.
Go get some.
Yeah, they have Juniors right over at Kroger. For those of you that don't know, eat Junior's cheesecake because it's delicious.
Anyway, focus.
We're focused on cheesecake.
So I think we had 12 originally, and we can still do those. We start out every one of these starts out as a rectangular blank. The razor blade is most close to that shape. And then we go from there, and we can do pretty much anything that'll fit in the handle. We're only constrained by having the sharpened part of the blade captured within the handle when it's folded, but we could do pretty much anything that would fit in that rectangle.
Now I want to do a kukri, make it a kooky banana.
Well, as long as it doesn't stick out the other side.
Can we get Scott to do a turning knife blade?
Oh, he loves those. Those are his favorite.
No.
See the kitchen knife episode if you want to know what we're talking about there.
Did you ever finish the cigar?
Yeah, I have it in the back actually. When we go grab it.
Sure.
Okay.
Run, Nick, run.
So, Brian, the blade shapes are pretty much, you're going to find something that you like. As I said, I like this Warney for this blade. I'm not a giant Warney fan otherwise, but man, for this, because inevitably Amazon somehow drops a package at my house a couple times a week.
A couple times, even every day.
That's a lot.
And I got to open it. So this is in duty.
Yeah, for what you actually use your knife for every day. When people talk about everyday carry and I mean, most of the time you're opening boxes, you're getting into like a plastic packaging, you're getting into some food or
sharpening a pencil.
Sharpening.
Yeah, that color came off of I think an apple is where I got that patina.
Looks cool.
Yeah, it's just
mine came from being Cerakoted.
I forgot what was that about? What happened?
The blue knife,
right? The blue one.
Blue.
So this one Nick turned into a cigar cutter,
as you can see.
Yeah.
Hold it up to the camera. Oh,
now have you used it?
Yes.
Okay.
So I got the idea. I didn't steal it. I was inspired by a French knife maker. Their company makes friction folders that are cigar cutters. And I was like, I wonder if we can do that with our friction folder. So basically on the inside of the handle, there's a notch cut out that'll fit most cigars. And when the blade closes, I was able to shape it so that it pushes the cigar into that groove and cuts the end off. So this one I did up a little bit special. I cut some brass and made brass liners for it and then put black micarta on the outside.
You've made the hardware brass.
Tuned up, the hardware to be brass. And it's a Magna Cut full flat grind sheep's-foot blade that I ran extra hard.
Careful.
That real sharp.
Probably.
It helped when you know the heat treat guy.
Yeah. That guy. He's around. That guy.
This actually with the brass.
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
Well, I like that a lot.
Yeah. The handle's a little funky to hold, but
not so much.
Once you get used to it though, it's pretty handy.
I'm not hating it. Man, that sucker sharp though. Good Lord.
Careful.
Like sharp. Do you feel it?
No. Did you? I probably saw this before.
I don't think so.
The brass is a
used it a
neat
few
look,
times.
and the weight of it is.
But that's what I mean. It's the actual feel. Wow. That's very.
So you lay your cigar down in there and go.
Swing.
Nice.
You got to make that noise when you do it too.
Oh.
Swing.
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 All right. Wait. Swing.
There you
Okay.
go.
There we go. I just got to
Sounds off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Swing.
There you go.
Nice.
Jeez. You wackos.
So
that's pretty cool.
I mean, Brian, there's some really great options here.
Is this a version? Well, this is one of one, huh? We should.
So
custom.
Shout out to our Pout House, and if you guys don't know what the Pout House, Scott will tell you in a second here.
The Pout House, baby.
We're gonna be doing a pass around with this knife on the Pout House. So if you're a cigar smoker,
news to me.
Heck, I
And
could
you
red
wanna
ball that sucker.
try it.
There you go.
Go for it.
Hey, Jersey.
Now, wait. All we'd have to do is offer
They
the
never give it
handle.
back.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, if you have your
You could do
banana peel,
Although I like what he's doing.
a whole night. Yeah.
Cut blade, cigar cutter. That's a high end.
I wanted to fancy it up. So
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah.
Brian, I think you should investigate the high end Magna Cut cigar cutter market there, buddy.
Sure.
'Cause that's kind of cool.
I bet we could sell 5 of them on the Pout House, no problem.
Trace
Heck
that
yeah.
out before you pass it around.
Yeah. No,
Come
that's
back to me.
Very
I
good.
mean, yeah.
Very good. I like that a lot.
You
Dig
dig
it.
it now.
So, but
I
I mean,
hope it's coming
again,
back.
going back to our original concept, simplicity. we can complicate it all you want, but going back in its simplest form, it's a blade and a handle and a few screws, man.
I have a fun one. Ask me why we use Chicago screws.
Hey, Sam.
Okay.
Who's Sam?
Because that's what we had.
That's exactly true.
Good
And
answer.
funny that again, what do you know, what is the mother of invention, necessity or whatever, but also availability of parts. Why does it look like it does with the parts that it has? That's what we had. Legit.
Mm-hmm.
Now we came up with that 2 washer per side to make it a little smoother, a little slicker opening. 1 washer, we didn't feel like we were getting what we wanted out of it. Remember, it just wasn't.
We went through a lot of different renditions of the washers before we figured out what we really liked.
And bronze,
what are the washers?
Combo.
So it's a Teflon bronze phosphorus combination.
Yeah.
And originally, I think we got the idea. I took apart one of my Demcos one time, and that's something that they do. Andrew, I don't know if he came up with that or not, but we really liked the feel of that. So we didn't replicate it exactly. It's different, but it's close. It's a similar kind of thing. But yeah.
And it allows, we were talking earlier about the sort of the tuning of it.
Yeah.
So when we send them out, they're fairly snug. So it's not going to open on you, but I mean, we do have somebody here in the shop who's got his, basically it's a flickable
right next to you.
Well, yeah, got a like a flickable
Mine
almost.
doesn't have Loctite on it, and it comes loose in my pocket.
Right.
I thought you liked it that way.
Not particularly.
Well, then lock this. No,
We can fix that.
tighter.
I haven't gotten around to it.
I know a guy.
Yeah.
But you can tune it once you get it. You can tune the tension on there, so you could have it be like that. You could have it to where you can almost not open it.
Right.
I mean, you can really tighten it down and make it, as Mike was saying earlier, almost a virtual fixed blade. So it's got that adjustability because of the screws. You can do whatever you want to it.
Yeah.
So if you're a Sabenza fan and you like that glass hydraulic action, you can do that. And if you like the more droppy open, droppy shutty action, you can do that.
There you go. But I think it's a market niche knife for sure. It's a love hate. You either like friction folders or you don't. And I know guys that are like, I don't want a friction folder. I just get a lockback or whatever. Okay, you know what? You're not the market that we're trying to fill. We're trying to fill that market where the guy just wants a simplistic, usable, working tool. Now we can go from, again, bottom line, very simple, up to complicated, like the cigar cutter. You can do a lot of things with this. You can mod these yourself. And as you've had some people carve some cool stuff, take some great pictures.
Right. Yep.
By all means, follow Woods Monkey on Instagram and Facebook and check out the products at woodsmonkey.com. And here's the cool part. You're going to be dealing with Brian, who's sitting right at this table. And the guys that make these knives are sitting right here at this table. This is, you're supporting this crew and this team and this family. Everything's right here. We're doing the work. We love feedback. Get one, tell Brian what you think. Send him pictures. He loves having customer pictures. If you ever look at the Instagram, he's always putting customer pictures up.
Yeah, it's neat to see what people do with them. It's really neat. Like when people give them as gifts, I got one for my son. I got one for my dad for Christmas, or that's the one that I really like to see is people are not only putting out their hard-earned money for our stuff, but then they think enough of it to be able to give it to somebody else as a gift.
Making it an heirloom,
yep.
Legacy kind of knife idea, right? I love everything behind that. So if you haven't seen the banana peel, please go check it out, woodsmonkey.com. And those of you who actually own one and use one, thank you very much for the support. We appreciate it. We have sold quite a few of these in the few years that we've been building them. And it's fun. We learn something every time we put them together.
Yes,
there's no doubt.
We do.
They're always a little different.
But the beauty of it is you can do darn near what you want with the thing and get it done.
How about they start at about $115?
They do.
So that's
pretty good.
$115, 100% American made, handmade, Mac out, lifetime warranty knife. I mean, that's win-win all the way around.
Pretty cool.
So another knife, moving on from the banana peel, another knife that we make is called the Curve. Brian, why don't you bring us up on the curve and kind of go with that curve for the
Easy.
concept idea?
Shiny, we know.
Right. So the curve, and mine is, it's hard to remember. Mine's, I think, one of the early prototypes. But again, this was a knife that came up from ideas and talking around the shop. And you actually had a similar knife to this, a little different handle, straighter handle. But we were looking at the coffin shape. So when I say coffin shape, if you're looking at either the front or the back of the knife, it's almost got a coffin shaped profile to it, with some flats on it, and it's a little different. It's not something you see every day, but it really locks the knife into your hand. So we had that early prototype with the straighter handle, and we did, I think, 5 was variations on that handle,
Mhm.
and one of one is the one that we have now with the curve in the back. And literally, I walked around to everybody here in the shop and put them all in their hands and said, "Which one do you like best?" And this was the winner. So this is the one we make now. But about a 2-inch Scandy blade AEBL. Again, removable, not necessarily interchangeable handles, but removable handles on there. Um, we've done these in micarta, G10,
Theratough.
Theratough, something else. I forget.
Have we done Rich Light yet?
We just now for the blade show. Yep.
No, those
No, those are
banana
the
peels.
banana peels.
I think we might have tested Rich Light.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we did black diamond rich slate, and
That seems like you're right on
I
that.
think we did the red
I was about to
maple
say,
paper, redstone maple paper.
we definitely need to do it in redstone if we haven't.
Yeah, that
If
would
we
be cool.
haven't, right?
So just a nice little knife. I mean, we call it the curve carver. It has that feel to it. It's a great little carving knife,
Again,
in
utility,
Scandi, right?
utility carver. Yeah.
But again, a nice little EDC size too.
Mhm.
Um,
That's when you're at camp and you're sitting around carving spoons in the evening around a campfire telling stories, which we've all done, been there, or at least seen guys sitting at the campfire doing while we're
Done it.
chatting. Yeah. So that's nice to have, but it's also nice little bushcrafting kind of piece of, uh, you know, piece of kit that you can take with you. And you've got some great carvings, pictures and stuff sent to you.
yeah, if you look at our Instagram from folks who've done, one of my favorites is the spoon with the woods monkey written out as the handle.
Absolutely. That is what-
Very cool.
Little figures and little gnomes.
Oh,
and
what
just
was
all
that
kinds-
Enzo used to carve? What was those?
East.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Easter Island.
Man, those were just cool as heck.
Yep. So it is neat to see that. It's neat to see people using them regardless of what they use it for. But then all the little things are really cool too.
And I think we've had really good luck with the AEBL. I mean,
Yep. I mean, we picked it for its toughness. I mean, so again, removable scales, not like the typical knife that comes out of the shop here where the scales are epoxied on
right.
and you don't have to worry about water or moisture getting up underneath the scales. I mean, these are tightened down, but I mean, it is possible for water to get between the scales and the blade. So we wanted to go with a stainless and we thought, what do we use? What do we like? And everybody here seems to like AEBL.
Mhm.
It's a nice steel. It's tough. It
So-
takes a good edge.
Sharpens up incredible,
Yeah.
especially those Scandies there.
Yep.
They're
Absolutely.
very sharp,
Very, very scooter sharp.
very uberly sharp.
I mean, everything about that, it's very comfortable. It has a nice leather sheath. Have you done those in Canada?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, we've done that.
Taco and pancake.
Okay. What I really like, it's hard to explain until someone handles that knife, the comfort of the coffin shaped handle.
Which you wouldn't
The
think it
square
would
one.
be, but once you get it in your hand, it just falls right into place.
Well, the other part about the flat spots, it allows quick indexing. And even in low light, you would know where your blade is, blade up, blade
Yep.
sideways, whatever. But when let's say you're going to do a push pull cut, chest lever cut, or anything like that, when you flip that in your hand and it's indexed, you know it's correct. You know that it's going to be in that position because of those short flats and long flats on the sides. Plus, it also has a ramp to the blade similar to a thumb scallop.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The front of the scales have a little bit of a bevel, so you can pinch down if you need to. And again, you really feel that when it's in your hand where it is. And
I'm just saying, and again, we've sold a fair number
Touch
of
that
those
wire
since
with that
inception.
Cut through the whole table.
I know he's going to cut. What's your microphone? He's-
Oh,
All right,
great.
so then I won't
that's
cut it off.
nice.
Swing.
There you go. Maybe you should handle that.
Yeah, I'll
About-
take this one for a second. Yeah. And you forgot to say, if for some reason you take these scales off here, you might find an Easter egg.
Yes, you absolutely will find an Easter egg under
Yeah.
the scales on all.
That is,
Every one of them.
you are right in that it looks like, well, with those hard lines on those scales, that is going to be one uncomfortable little
Right.
knife, but it's not.
It's surprisingly comfortable.
It's perfect.
And it's
And
It's
you'll
all
know
right.
if you hold it upside down.
that's what I mean.
That's not as good.
It's indexed.
Well, no, if you look at your hand, this is tapered correctly, wide side toward the where your thumb meets your palm. It's perfect. And it gets into like a little triangle shape as it hits the second knuckle.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. A great little piece of
And when you buy yours, be careful. This is really sharp.
they are very, very
Oh,
Those guys sharpen the heck out of them.
It's no, that's all I'm doing is buffing it and giving it the final little zing. But the boys back there that do the scandy grinds,
Yeah, they do
good stuff.
a nice grind, eh?
Yep. Same with the I know different knife, but same with the pronghorn.
Mm.
That's the only knife that's given me stitches, and that is quite similar. That little kerf knife.
I can't say the same.
The scandies get sharpened earlier in the process.
No,
I'm sort of just buffing it at the end, but it is very sharp. You will carve all day with that knife, no problem.
I don't think you're going to be disappointed in the purchase of a curve.
No, it's a
because there's a lot of coolness going on here. There's a lot of
it would even work good, just horses for courses, of course. But if that's the only thing you had on you,
Wait.
Hold
Hold on. Now wait. Don't
what?
finish the thought. We're gonna bookmark it. Finish the thought you were
If
saying.
that's all you had, and you like, survival time,
oh yeah,
you could do it.
oh absolutely, and there is no doubt in my mind.
Even though with
But
that smaller blade,
Yeah.
it'll get some jobs done for sure.
Okay.
Let's
Now-
circle back. to
now-
what you
now-
said.
What was that horse thing?
Back to the bookmark. What was that
About
turn of
horses?
phrase that you put out
Horses
there?
for courses.
Horses for courses?
what's that?
What's a courses?
What are you talking about?
Hold on. Have you people never heard that phrase?
No.
Never.
Wow.
Not at once.
I'm not. Really?
Me.
Really?
Really?
It must have been on
Nope,
top
that's
of
a
the
newbie.
ice.
I'm not that old.
That's a new one for me.
Must
to
be
the
on top of the
gum
ice.
Okay,
box.
okay.
I knew an old lady that used to say "I up," but I don't know what horses
know
for
what-
courses is.
I don't even know what eye up is.
That's pretty. It's a different.
Well, this
story.
is my thinking on what it is. And I obviously did not invent this phrase, even though.
because nobody else
Because
has heard
I
it.
don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, then I invented it.
All right. So wait. Okay, here's some homework for our listeners. Wait. Here's some homework for our listeners. If you have heard that phrase before, you got to get on there and say,
Yeah.
"I'm with you, Scooter."
Yeah, please do, because he's
We-
on an island right
And we
now.
have voting button.
Typing right now, going, duh, I've heard
Go
it.
ahead.
Okay,
I'm sending you an email right now that says I've never heard that.
Okay, you got your horses that'll run around the big circle track,
Right.
derby stuff,
Right.
You got your horses that'll jump over obstacles. You got your horses that are good running in mud. There's
Mutters.
mutters. You got your horses that'll pull a beer wagon. You got your horses
Bias.
that are put out the stud because that's all they're good for anymore. And horses for courses, different courses. Hunter jumper courses.
Where did you hear that?
I don't know. I have a lot of old people phrasing. My grandmother raised me. All right.
Scott, get over there and do horses for courses right now. Let's go.
I'm
And she was,
telling you.
she raced
Did you
horses.
pick up
or-
that phrase before they invented power?
I
Well,
buddy, I-
one
that was a
neighbor
little
was
hard.
Amish, and yes, and
I pride myself on knowing some of them old things.
That's
but
the new
man,
one.
that's
okay. The thing in your kitchen that keeps food cold. What do you call that?
Fridge.
your fridge.
Let me guess.
Yeah, I
You
call
called it an ice
I
box.
call it an ice
Yeah.
box.
I knew it.
Right.
I knew
That's what my grandmother
Did
called
you
it.
actually put ice in it though?
No.
big-
This one
Big
plugged
block of ice.
Got
Yeah.
the refrigerator.
All right, when you're sitting in your chair and you put your feet up on another piece of furniture, what's that called?
Footstool.
He calls it a
Coffee
duvet.
Attic.
What?
A Hashtag.
I don't call it that, but I knew that's what he was going to say.
Wait, that's not just old. That's Pittsburgh old.
Well, I am from Pittsburgh.
What do you?
That's a hassle.
It is a
What do you call the piece of furniture in your living room that you can sit 3 or 4 people on?
A cot.
couch.
Not a Davenport.
No, we didn't use that. What are these called? I'm grabbing LT's jeans.
Jeans or
Dungarees.
Dungarees. That's all my dad said was, "Put your dungarees on, boy. We're gonna go do yard work or whatever."
You're from this planet.
That stems back from
Sorry.
jeans that used to be dungaree fit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that's
Like grapes.
I know
of wrath.
they're-
I mean, that's.
he was old too. What do you want from
So,
That's
He
bad.
also calls rubber bands
Oh, that-
fans?
cum bands.
Yeah, I do that too,
Pittsburgh
though.
stuff.
We're
We-
digressing. We're
we could
talking
have
about
a-
Woods
Yeah,
Market.
All right.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
We could have
Sorry.
a Pittsburgh
Sorry.
ease.
We gotta get off
Sorry,
Pittsburgh.
sorry.
I think we've done that already.
Yeah. Now,
Anytime we get a quick
Hey.
story, it's loaded.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. You're tapping on the table.
No banging on the table.
focus.
Don't do that.
Hey, again.
So
Focus on not
back,
hitting the table.
back to the curve.
Yeah.
Yeah. The coffin style handle is just an amazing fitting using knife.
And comes with a nice Jerry Industry sheath
Yeah.
Or
it
Kydex.
does. Or Kydex.
or Kydex. Yeah.
So I don't know what else I can say about this except this is just I like both of these
I
pieces.
strongly recommend that you go watch the video where Enzo from Enzo's Wood Shop spent like 8 hours out back just carving.
It was carving.
And-
Carving his little heart out.
Yeah. He carved a lot of
Nice
stuff.
there.
And that was his first time on the Curve Carver. and
Absolutely.
Still managed to carve some
Yeah, he
amazing
did an
stuff.
awesome job.
Mhm.
With
I still
Wright.
have some of them in my desk.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We've had a lot of cool things come in on the Curve Carver.
And
And I know that Woods Monkey's got a lot of stuff that you probably can't just throw out there, but can you maybe
I mean, someone mentioned
tease?
Goldilocks earlier,
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
like a sort of a kind of the perfect
Perfect fit.
sweet spot.
Like a blue knife?
Or no,
Oh,
Cheesecake?
no.
I
mean,
know
Well, a
cheesecake.
cheesecake knife would be
I mean,
really
it could
nice.
be used for cheesecake,
That'd
but
What are you getting at?
like Goldilocks,
he'll get
because
there.
it was not too hard, not too
small.
soft, not too big, not too small. I mean, that
Just
The
right.
just right knife.
might be something out there. Like,
Yeah.
Like outside?
Scott's looking real confused, and he actually knows what it is.
No, I
It's
don't
just
think
he
he
can't-
does actually.
So
He's forgotten.
See, he's out of
But-
the loops.
Brian and I have
Good
been
chance.
kind of looking at this project for a bit now, and it's definitely in the works.
Is that the
It
thing
is-
you told me about the other day?
No,
no, it was the other
Wow.
thing,
I don't.
not that thing, but the other thing.
Yeah, but that's funny because I don't even know what you're talking about.
The thing that you texted me about?
Because he made it up
think
to
that I
screw with
texted
you.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, you're confusing me.
I don't know.
But anyway, we have some-
vaguely running off
what I'm
track
getting
here.
at.
Oh my
What I'm
gosh.
getting at is
Bill,
other than these two knives that Woods Monkey has, and we have the Bonds Creek Fin and Feather and
Saber tooth.
What is it?
Saber tooth.
So
the
yeah, the
scaleless. Yep.
which is a great knife. They definitely need to check both of those knives out. We have a few other items coming down the pike. Can't really say real quick off. Hopefully within the month, we'll be able to
Soon.
maybe start
very soon.
Yeah, very soon. But you're going to want to watch for them. And we'll just say they're a little bigger than
You can send
But
all
not-
your angry
not
emails to
too.
Brian.
yeah. Send them to Brian.
Monkey.com.
But
Thanks.
but I mean, there definitely is going to be some cool stuff coming down the pipe. There's no doubt about it.
And of course, we've partnered with some great companies too.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about P&W earlier,
Bonds Creek.
Bonds Creek and Broughtingham Expedition Works.
Ah,
and
titanium stuff.
Titanium
Oh,
stuff.
love it, love it.
True titanium.
We've got some other deals working with some other folks on some collaborations too. So
Yeah.
We've been very lucky to be able to work with some great companies and people we know, people we've hung out with, people we've talked to, people we've met, and we like them. We like their
Right.
products, and we've just been very lucky to be able to incorporate that into Woods Monkey.
Yeah.
Can I order a bandolier
Well,
You can.
I mean,
Spend $1,000
there's one
evidently.
out there.
if money's no object?
If money's no object, then
It's
yes.
worth it going to the website just for the picture.
just to see the picture of the
Banandalier.
Banana.
Banandalier.
That's easy for you to say.
Banandalier. Okay. Yeah, it is.
Olé.
Tough to say.
In his
And
monkey suit.
Just if anybody wants to know out there, if you take something like that and you take, say, 28 bananas and hang them off your body, it's very heavy and uncomfortable. Just if you were wondering.
And then you
Nah.
eat a bunch of bananas because
Right.
they go bad quickly. 'Cause
Yep.
they
A lot
were
of
not-
banana
Banana
bread.
bread, banana pancakes, banana cookies.
Did you
pudding.
get through them?
Banana
There's still some in the freezer.
Oh, so you had to
right.
Banana bread.
preempt them into freezer bananas.
Yeah, I mean, there's only there's only so many you can eat, but I
After
mean,
about 3, you're tired of bananas.
It is possible to get potassium overdosing.
Yeah,
Oh, well, then don't do that. But
No.
hey, not to change the subject, I just saw something yesterday.
change-
Oh, wait a minute, because he's got frozen bananas.
Quickie story.
Can I go
Quick,
first?
yeah.
Oh, you have to say that.
Frozen bananas
Oh,
work,
I got quickie
work
story.
awesome
Oh,
for
so-
banana pancakes.
So I just saw something yesterday where you sent it to me. You freeze slices of watermelon and then cheese grade them into a bowl, and you have this super awesome slushy
Vanilla ice
creamy.
cream.
Man,
Watermelon
take your
ice
frozen bananas, cheese grade them into a bowl, dude, and you got like banana pudding shaving.
well, so
Something.
what you can do is you
Think
take them
of
out of the
baked
field,
bananas.
you freeze them, and then let them thaw a little bit, and then mush them up, and it becomes quote unquote banana ice cream. So it's got
Oh,
an
boy.
ice creamy consistency,
Okay,
and it's just bananas. It's very tasty. We did that.
interesting.
Cool.
Now,
Okay.
if you could figure out that watermelon ice cream with the cottage cheese core,
Oh
Yeah.
man,
I don't know about that.
See,
we
I
just
love
we had our
watermelon
first.
and I love cottage cheese, but those two things don't go together.
Yeah, they do.
No,
I didn't think that
you're
either.
wrong.
No, it-
I know.
You're
it does.
wrong.
He's a
We even
You
have
like kombucha
special
too, and that's
watermelon
gross too.
cottage cheese
That's slime.
bowls.
That is slime
Gary got us
water.
some bowls. But we had our first watermelon.
And I love
cheese
fermented things, but that's
over the week.
gross.
So yay that.
Yeah, I did too, but I didn't put cottage cheese with it. I had
And you
cottage
missed
cheese
half of
separate,
half of
and
the
it was
goodness.
joyous.
All right. Well, again, guys, thank you for all the support for Woods Monkey, and please continue to support him. And if you don't own either one of these knives,
what's
check 'em
wrong
out.
with you?
We'll check them out. There are some YouTube videos, I believe.
There
using
are a
the
few.
product. Yeah, there are a few.
There are a few with my mug on them. Yep, absolutely.
Well, I mean, some other
Wait, we
people
have
have
mugs
done
now?
Yep.
some shorts and stuff. I know that
Yep.
are out there.
We've had
Those
the-
shorts too.
Should really get mugs.
We could get shorts and mugs. Absolutely.
We had mugs.
I feel like that's false advertising.
Shirts
though.
and mugs and shirts
Shirts
and
and-
mugs and shirts and mugs.
That's good. But we've had a good time bringing Woods Monkey online, and we're going to continue moving forward with new products. Matter of fact, if you have a product that you would like to see Woods Monkey carry, man, drop us a line.
Sure.
And as I said earlier, when you buy from Woods Monkey, you're buying directly from us, and particularly from Brian. We'll answer your emails. Brian will probably ship your product.
Yep.
So it is one-on-one, personal, team stuff here, and we're all about promoting that and just creating a good environment for us to work in and putting out great tools, great products. We just love doing that. Any final words, anybody?
Yes.
You go on.
Okay. You can buy your kerf carver in a DIY
Oh,
sort of setup.
Right.
I forgot.
So if you are a true bush type of fella
Craft hero.
or girl, get that knife, carve your own scales, build your own knife.
We had somebody do that on the pound house, but wooden scales with a bolster on there. Nice job. We've also had people, you can wrap them in jute, or leave
Yeah.
it as is. It's up to you.
or
but yeah,
paracord or
we
right.
do those. It's just the knife without the scales. Still comes with the sheath. So you can do whatever you want. You can carry it as is.
Yeah,
Very
sure.
good stuff. Anybody else? Okay. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in to episode 41. We really appreciate it. We had fun. Please go back and check out prior episodes if you have not. We have an affiliate link on our website
Yes.
that you can use on Amazon, and it does go to help support the show. We don't have a Patreon, but if you want to just PayPal Mike some money.
We do have a Patreon.
Oh, we
don't
do.
utilize it. And we also have a donate button on our Shack page on the website so that you can make a donation to the show if
Yes.
you'd like.
If you like listening, it definitely greatly appreciates it. We take an hour out of our workday because we enjoy doing it. It gives us a chance to decompress too from
It's so I can buy
being
new
busy.
stuff.
And so Mike can buy new microphones and cool stuff. So, guys, thank you very much for all the support over the years. And we will see you next time for episode 42. God bless you and have a great day.
See you. Bye.